Bye, Jake.
Here we go. We got Ben
Okay,
Griffis
here we go.
and Zach Romer. More Delirium versus DE. That's Delirium, Delirium. Delirium versus Zach Romer on traditional murder vehicles. Kyle Kippy has requested I try to sing some Bye, but little does he know, the Backstreet Boys are far superior to NSYNC.
One of them has JT, and JT is legit good.
JT is legit good, but as a whole, when you announce that you're back, like...
You're going to do this right now?
Yeah.
You're going to do this?
I'm doing this, yeah. They told you to rock your body right because Backstreet's back, and it was all right. Meanwhile, NSYNC was like, Backstreet Boys invited you in because they're back and they want to party. And NSYNC was like, okay, bye.
Jake likes his music to be inclusive, and he's comparing singles from the first album to the singles off the second album of another band. Not even in the same like time category.
No, that wasn't the Backstreet Boys' first album at all.
I don't know.
Because the first Backstreet Boys album was all about quit playing Gifts in My Heart.
Just not. I'm gonna try to avoid this conversation. I'm really trying to back out of it. Trying to like just let it come to a nice nice package, nice closed package, and he's just going on.
I mean, would you prefer we play the game later of Who Said It, Ben Carson or Mac from It's Always Sunny?
Oh, can we do that during sideboards?
Yes, we can do that during sideboards.
Oh man, so this is Who Said It, Ben Carson or Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
But first, we have a story. Zachary Romer is somebody who beat me in the top 8 of the PPTQ.
He's going to talk trash about this person on stream.
And then he dropped.
Yeah, he beat you, then he dropped.
Yes.
He beat you, you lost.
And then he dropped.
Yes. He did what he was going to do, and then he dropped. I don't understand the confusion here.
Like, but... Would you keep playing, though?
I think the guy had previous arrangements.
No,
I think
he had no previous arrangements.
he just dropped because all he came to do was to beat you, Jake, and then leave.
And then his, his not-girlfriend kept calling him, and he couldn't get out of seeing her.
You know, some people, I don't know. You're dragging this guy through the glass for no reason via a public air stream here. I feel like it's a little uncalled for.
I mean,
he looks like a nice kid. He's got his shirt buttoned up. He's got his sleeves down. He's not even rolled them up, man.
Looks can be deceiving. He's tall and goofy. I mean, I'm tall and goofy too, but Zach reminds me of a younger me.
Oh, so now it's a little bit of okay, I see what, okay.
It's a reflection of my past. I'm not proud of my past, so
okay.
I just want...
You had a few too many girls that weren't your girlfriends calling you, and wow, no response there, kept him quiet. He just kind of gave.
I will say that
giggle.
Zach is probably far better off financially than I ever was at that age.
Given the poor financial decisions you make, I would not be surprised that you made worse ones back then. So.
What are some poor financial decisions that I make?
Buying standard decks like Jeskai Sahili.
I mean, because I do all this work for the stream, I get store credit.
Snapping off that switch.
I get the write off though.
Buying boxes and cracking them for no goddamn reason.
Okay, we stopped that. We stopped that. I did not buy any boxes of 8th Revolt.
Okay, so in this previous set that came out 2 months ago,
Kaladesh?
8th Revolt, you did not buy any boxes. You didn't buy any Kaladesh boxes too?
I bought 2 Kaladesh boxes.
2 Kaladesh boxes. How good of financial decisions were those, Jake? Tell us in informative detail how good this financial decision was.
To be blunt, they were fucking terrible.
So you made poor financial decisions.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I said.
This is a good decision here from Zach. He's hacking for 2-3, but it's got pushed away, just like that money from my wallet when I bought those boxes.
So I won that bout in the same way that that fatal push won the bout between
Correct.
the what do the kids call it? The nerd ape. I heard that.
Nerd ape, yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
I will say that I bought 2 boxes of Modern Masters for $180 a piece. So.
That's a good deal, though. I think you got out on that one. So.
Yeah, the second they announced fetches, I'm like, I'm just buying these boxes. I don't care.
If you keep shooting, you're bound to hit a target, I guess. And so you finally bought a good box. Hopefully there's not garbage boxes.
I might try to flip them, but if I can't for like at least 200 a piece, then I'll just crack them.
Yeah.
Might crack them on stream.
Okay, so what's this player gonna do? You think he's gonna get in?
Well, I think Zach thinks he's gonna get in. This is why he there's no attack there from Zach, which is interesting.
Yeah, I like brick wall in the Flare. You don't want Flare to get out of control, especially if you don't have an answer in hand.
I mean, he does, though. He has a Disintegration in hand.
Well, there's some big stuff in this deck. Oh.
Ben does not care about anything that Zach is
And
doing.
so he's got, what is this? This is like feinting a a Grasp of Darkness, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Zach purposely did not attack. So you got to think.
I love this attack, honestly. Yeah. I hope he gets blown out.
Zach is flat out saying, do you have a Grasp in hand?
Call him on it. Call him.
To be fair, Zach's hand is literally Needle Spires and Disintegration.
Call him.
Zach is talking to himself. There's the grasp.
Oh, there's the grasp.
Zach is trying to talk himself.
That makes
Zach's like the poker player at the table against the guy with the sunglasses and the hoodie not saying a thing, trying to get any ounce of information. And I don't know if you're playing against Ben, but Ben does not speak when he plays Magic.
I'm not very familiar with the Ben. I only know the modern players. Oh, he went for it. He tried to call him on his bluff, and he's going to get blown out here. And that Grim Flare is going to trigger.
It's going to trample over 1. He's going to stack the top of his deck.
And we're off to the races on this Flare. Okay, well, just do a little 5 minus 4, and we'll get to a 1, and we'll... Yeah.
We see a snake. We see a snake.
Triples? Oh. Woo. Bend that Flare.
That's Delirium. No, it's not. He's still missing like a land or something.
Yeah, we got instant sorcery in the yard.
He's got a Flare in hand, too. Yeah, but Ben's double snake.
We're going Delirium, guys.
We meant to mention that he's on a more Delirium type deck. He played the Ben Stark Delirium lists from the Baltimore Team Open this Saturday. So he likes his Delirium. I imagine it's an easier time getting it than Kevin Sanders did, as Zach draws another land.
I am curious how Ben Stark did the weekend. It's a team event, so you could probably be carried by your team for so far, but if you make it to the top, you got to have a good day somewhat.
Zach should be at 19, by the way, from that 1 damage from the Grim Flare. I know that Patrick Sullivan did terrible.
Yeah, 20 Mountain Burn, not probably the best choice, but
No.
He's also sitting down on a very complicated format, and when you're sitting down across from P. Solly in Legacy, you know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a disadvantage.
Apparently someone didn't know what he was doing. As they kept asking, you run fetches? You run fetches? And Sully's like, no.
Well,
And then someone made the joke, oh, because you can't afford them, right? And having no idea who Patrick Sullivan is.
well, also the fact that the Arabian Nights mountains that he was playing with fetch a nice penny.
Yeah.
I want to, not a finance guy, but I would probably say about $200 there.
They're not cheap, and P. Sullivan can afford that. As Zach will play a Thyron Spectre and really cracked a clue and draw another land. So this is what Zach has going on. He's got 2 creatures, 1 that can block.
Aggro decks don't normally need the land, but it's going to come in handy when we try to fire up this Needle Spires. We're going to try to get
Fair,
in with it.
yeah.
A double strike's going to come on hard, hopefully.
Zach's coming in for 3, Ben's in at 11, but we're about to see 2 Grim Flares. And there's a Ballista out the top, too.
I don't think this is necessarily the matchup for Tireless Tracker to go wild, but he might do it regardless. Tireless Tracker don't care, one might say.
I would be surprised here to see Ben just drop the Ballista as defense against the Needle Spires. But nope, this is 1 mana. This is going to be...
Oh, a little traverse action.
more lands.
Yep, just more lands, no Delirium.
Of note that the Ballista would give him Delirium.
That it would, but you don't necessarily just want to fire off your 2 damage there.
No.
So you would be maybe dividing it between the Spires and Zach. Maybe shooting down a Spires, blocking, and then shooting Zach. But it seems like it's a play you could do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Zach has 1 card in hand. Ben has the ability to draw 2 cards while manipulating the top of his deck with his leftover Grim Flares.
Yeah, Ben's in the driver's seat. Green-black deck has extra cards on his opponent. It's a good spot to be. And he could still make the Ballista play right here with 4 mana after that traverse.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what he does, though. He has plenty of options.
I know he has a Flare in hand.
I think he has 2 Flares in hand.
2 Flares in hand, okay.
There's a Ballista on 2. And then no attack from the Tireless Tracker. So Ben probably assuming correctly, most likely, that he has the better late game.
It's a good assumption against Mardu vehicles. Not necessarily Gideon's pretty much their only top end, and if they're just going to draw lands like Zach has chosen to do, then you can easily kind of outgrind them. Especially with this Ballista on board.
Yeah.
Zach's going to be kind of stuck hanging back for a while, I think.
I think he needs to just draw a Planeswalker or bust here, pretty much. Those are hard to Karen.
That's a card.
Is that the worst? Not sure how good it is, though. I mean, Ben can attack, but clearly he had no desire to attack anyway. Here's an attack for 3 from Zach.
So maybe Zach should have attacked, or maybe Ben should have attacked last turn because what's he going to do? Block the Tireless Tracker with a Investigator?
I mean, currently this is the easiest way for Zach to crew the Heart of Karen.
Oh, the Scrap Heap?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so, definitely.
I mean, he can bring it back. There is the Inventor's Apprentice in the graveyard. Though...
That is an unexciting Ballista.
It's a Ballista that gives him Delirium while not putting the Strounger in the graveyard.
Yeah, not exciting.
Yeah, no. That's a land in hand, though, I think, from Zach.
Oh, wow! This is a bluff here. He's just gonna tap some mana, then untap it. You know, we're not gonna cast this Disintegration. That's a commitment. You know, sometimes I think about doing that and I never do it because, first of all, I don't know. I don't know if people would even believe me if I Hollywooded like that.
I think the only issue is that Ben has 2 Grim Flayers in hand, so he could care less about Disintegration because he has 2 threats. Now he does a Lifelinker threat 2 with Death Touch.
How do you feel about the Aether Highborn in this meta? No strong feelings.
Gains life, I
Gains
guess.
life?
The double black can be super awkward, though these are more black-oriented decks than green.
Yeah, this is definitely a black-heavy deck. It's got the Grasp and the Highborn. I want to say that I saw a red-black list also rocking some Highborns. And Liliana Last Hope and some RPTQ lists. But
Gain life is nice. It thinks that Heart of Karen 2/2 instead of a 4/4. It can attack well into this Mardu deck. Heart of Karen can't block it, it'll die.
yeah, right?
It blocks Needle Spires. Zach after his bluff will untap and not kill either threatening creature, and he'll draw another land.
Drew another land, 2 lands in hand. He's drawing dead here, I think. I think this game's just kind of out of... Well, you know, just jam Heart of Kieran. See if you can race. Don't even worry about doing math, you know, just...
That's all he can do.
Just start turning them sideways.
He's going all in. Here comes everybody.
Let's see it. Let's see how the cards fall. Chips fall, you know.
This is an attack for 8.
I would recommend blocking.
Yeah, Ben's gonna block the land. So first strike happens, 2 damage goes onto the Get the Aetherborn. Get the Aetherborn is a 2/3, so it won't die from first strike. And then normal damage happens. Ben takes 4, but gains 2.
So we're gonna gain some life. We're gonna stave off Zach's attack, and Zach is looking worse for the wear.
Ben has a 2-turn clock as he draws another land, but that's not the worst with this Tireless Tracker.
Well, you know, if we're just gonna go all in on Tyler's Tracker, it can get out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Kind of wishing we had a Snake on the board, even though we bend them with the Grim Flayer ability.
Snake would have been really good with that Ballista.
Snake would have been good with that Ballista, would be good with this Tireless Tracker.
Here's an attack for 7.
Oh,
Ben,
it ain't going to be just for 7. We're going to fire it up.
I think Ben's going to wait to trigger the Grim Flayer and stack the top of his... No, he's going to draw a card first, make it 8, so this is officially a 2-turn clock. Maybe.
I think you need to make it a 2-turn clock, right?
I mean, it's a 2-turn clock regardless because of the...
Oh, he'll untap. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he'll still have the land back there. He still has a second Grim Flayer in hand.
Will he have enough clues, is my question. So 7 and 9... Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he'll have enough clues. That was my concern.
This is 11 on board as is, plus...
Oh, and he's got a second Grim Flayer.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the Quagmire. He bottomed 3... He binned 3 straight lands.
He's got it all. It hasn't been really a game because Zach's draw hasn't lined up for him.
That's a mainboard Fragmentize from Zach. I think.
So sometimes people don't board out sideboard cards. It's regular REL, but you know maybe he just thought it was a good meta choice.
It could be mainboard. It could be
This is what we're doing. We know everybody's going to be on artifacts. We want to get them out of the way. Just push that damage.
I mean, he can take care of a clue, I guess.
If his opponent doesn't sack it in response.
I think Zach slowly, he's gonna play it out. There's the land.
He can chump block and go to 1.
And he's just dead.
He can chump block the tireless tracker and go to.
He's gonna fragmentize his own Strappy Stranger. He's gonna bring back his Strappy Stranger. And swing for 4.
Don't we crew then do that, and then actually enables us to block an additional time while pushing damage?
That is accurate.
But still,
It doesn't matter because Ben just has lethal.
he also has a 4/4 Grim Flare, which just eats the 3/2. So
2 4/4s.
Well, one was I mean, in terms of blocking.
I mean, Strappy can't block.
No, you know what? He wasn't attacking with the Scrap Heap. He was attacking with a Heart of Kieran. Actually,
It was all for naught. Ben takes game 1.
I think he was close to making a good play there. Didn't quite come together.
The drawing the lands was the problem there.
Definitely not. Shouldn't draw so many lands.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Zach sideboards. I'm pretty sure his sideboard is it's obviously very different from Isaiah's Planeswalker heavy deck.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he's running Ballistas, so it's different from that Ballista sideboard too that runs all the Oaths and all the Planeswalkers and tries to go bigger and longer.
Yeah.
Try to keep up this Delirium deck. Supposedly Oath of Liliana is just the nut against Green Black Delirium.
Oath of Liliana against Green Black Delirium. I guess that's fine. Sure, you got it. More importantly,
I think the theory there is like you're making them sacrifice a creature, then you're playing a bunch of Planeswalkers, so you're getting blockers.
yeah, sure, you're gonna get some 2/2s, but let's fire up this Ben Carson because the sideboard plans are gonna be pretty similar to last round. So, Ben Carson, you know, man, that
Ben
guy.
Carson.
Ben.
Oh yeah, that. Okay.
Yo.
Here we go.
Ben Carson, you know, politician extraordinaire.
Question number 1.
Okay, so
Regarding
if you weren't here earlier, we got an online poll. Did Ben Carson, former presidential candidate, say this, or did Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia say?
Don't forget, Ben Carson's the secretary of the.
Did he get approved for?
Yeah, he's secretary of the HUD, right?
Yeah, the HUD. Yeah, so
Ray
he's going to be making the housing.
Ray said that the slaves are immigrants.
Yeah, Ben Carson recently been in the news for comparing slaves coming over in the mid-Atlantic slave trade to casual immigrants, looking for hope and promise of the American dream.
I know, question number 1. It's quote number 1 on abortion. We're starting off not controversial at all with this. It's nobody's choice. It should be left up to God.
That's a Ben Carson.
False. It is Mac.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that was... All right.
Question number 2. The quote is, not only would I probably not cooperate with him, I would not just stand there and let him shoot me. Is this Ben Carson after a mass shooting, or Mac on thwarting an armed assailant in Patty's Pub thanks to his ocular pat down?
I'm going to say Ben Carson. Ben Carson ain't taking no for answers.
That is correct.
Okay, Ben Carson, he would fight a mass shooter.
Who was the guy who killed somebody on the Democrat side?
A former veteran, I believe. Jim Webb, maybe?
I just remember watching the debate on Twitter and then hearing about somebody killed a man. I'm just like, what the hell did I miss?
Oh, man, be careful, Jake. We're going to run out of time here.
No, they're still sideboarding. There's some non-sleeve cards over there in Zach's pile. Number 3, it's the worst thing that has happened to this nation since slavery. In a way, it is slavery because it is making all of us subservient to the government. Is this Ben Carson on Obamacare or Mac in response to the ease at which Dennis and Dee received welfare?
Does Mac know the word subservient? I think it's a Ben Carson.
That is correct.
Ben Carson thinks that healthcare is slavery. Okay.
Number 4, it clearly says in the Bible that gay marriage is wrong. Is this Ben Carson in response to the 2015 Supreme Court ruling, or Mac in response to his former transgender girlfriend marrying a man?
Both. I don't know. I got nothing on that one. Sure, you can have them.
Pretty sure it's Mac. It is Mac.
Okay.
By the way, have you watched the new season at all?
I'm pretty much an Always Sunny novice. We've watched about maybe we got a few episodes under our belt. Expect to be.
Mac has come out of the closet.
I've heard of this. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I heard it via you. Honestly.
Yeah.
Not the biggest Always Sunny fan, so.
I mean, what's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I don't really know what's wrong with me.
Number 5, these liberals are trying to assassinate my character.
Mac. Let's Mac that one.
Yes, that is Mac.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 6, think about Nazi Germany. Most of those people did not believe in what Hitler was doing. But did they speak up? Did they stand up for what they believe in? They did not, and you saw what happened.
Ben Carson, I guess.
Correct. I get like one wrong so far.
Yeah, we're on fire.
Number 7. People who go into prison straight, and when they come out, they're gay.
Mac.
That's Ben Carson.
Wow. Sometimes, man, reality trumps comedy.
And the final one, if we can't be in the school zone, maybe we need to train somebody who can be someone you never suspect that could stop a shooter.
Mac.
That is correct. I believe it's the reference to him wanting to carry a sword on school grounds.
Oh, okay. You know, just high-quality television. Hard to deny why you shouldn't watch the show. Jake's rousing approval of Always Sunny. I think it's actually a pretty funny show. It's just
Sunny is fantastic.
one of those shows I haven't gotten around to, you know. They start stacking up on you if you don't keep up on it. And God forbid I play a game of Magic every so often. I could be at home watching Always Sunny all by myself. All by my lonesome. Instead, I could choose to come out here and do some commentary. Hang out with a buddy. What a mistake.
I mean, I could be playing Zelda. I could be playing Magic right now, but I think Standard's stupid right now, so.
That sounds like a very profound opinion you have. Well, very nuanced.
Would you call it a
honestly.
hot take?
I think you only you only operate at hot take level.
I mean, I want that Deadspin coverage. I want to be the new Hot Take Mountain.
Hot Take Mountain.
So there was this radio show that was on Fox Sports Radio that was just literally nothing but obscene hot takes.
Okay, sure.
That's all I remember of it.
Okay.
Imagine like two guys who were really popular in like the 80s or 90s that made Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless sound coherent.
Whoa, this sounds really bad because I am not a big Stephen A. Smith fan or a Skip Bayless fan, and they are bottom of the barrel.
But you know what? They make millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Thanks for reminding me, Jake, that I don't make millions of dollars.
The secret is hot takes, man.
Oh, wow. Jake is on the millionaire hot take train, and Zach is on the concealed courtyard with no turn one play.
But 2 energy, apparently.
Well, we're going to have to move that energy counter real quick at some point, but
I think Zach drew his 1 drop.
Zach drew his 1 drop on turn 2.
Yeah.
Good time for it.
He's to play Heart of Karen.
That's probably a better 2 drop than just playing your 1 drop off curve.
And he has a Veteran Motors in hand, but
Do we got the grasp?
even better, we have a Natural State in Ben's hand. Because grasp is not working as the 5/5, because Veteran Motorist will buff the Heart of Karen.
Okay, yeah.
But Natural State will take care of that nice and clean.
Didn't know we were coming down with a veteran motorist. I like that. This natural state's going to look hot.
1 top, 1 bottom from Zach. Here's the crew. Here's the attack. And
Push. Get out.
Rip.
Sweet mythic, bro.
Heart of Karen, like its namesake. Oh, he had the push too.
Efficient.
Ben Griffis just killing everything. Now he can drop a snake. He's got a murder in hand too. I don't think he's a 4th land though, because
Who needs a 4th land when you got snake, bro? You got snake.
he's got ballista too. You know he wants to draw that 4th untap land, play a 3/3 ballista.
Is it Gideon
Let's
going
see
to come
what
down?
Zach here. Nope, that's
Oh.
just an Aphis Spear Harvester. Zach goes to add 2 energy. Goes, oh hey,
Let's tap some mana.
I already got some
and
energy.
we. Oh, okay.
Not the worst follow from Zach. He's still adding to the board. Let's see what Ben draws.
Are we
here.
running both 1 drops, or are we running the red 1 drop over the Toolcraft Exemplar?
I think he's running the red over the Toolcraft.
That isn't. Is that a? How do you feel about that choice? Is there any a place? Is there any a moment like which that is the proper choice?
I think they're both bad cards, but I think since Toolcraft can crew Heart of Kieran, it's the less bad card. Especially since the Liana's not that prevalent in the format, as Ben opts for a
Ooh.
Gonti Lord of Luxury.
Wow, diamonds and pearls on the left side. What are we gonna grab? Some cards that aren't
see
great. A scrap heap and
a
a
scrap heap.
licensed.
I imagine he's taking, yes, he is taking the removal spell, to no one's surprise.
So why would this green black deck want a removal spell, huh?
I don't know. Doesn't have enough already?
Oh man, never have enough.
Of note that Ben is able to play a artifact, so he can fully unlock the potential of the unlicensed integration.
You ever cast a Gonti?
And constructed or draft?
Neither.
No.
No.
I've had someone see 4 lands off my deck with a Gonti. That was cool.
I'm just kind of curious of the etiquette of the Gonti. I like tucking my my mystery card underneath the Gonti. Make sure that.
That's what I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always give
When
them.
when you cast it,
Yeah.
you said you never cast it before.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
I've had it cast
when you
against
cast
me.
against
Yeah.
me, you tuck it underneath there.
If I
so
would
okay.
cast it, yeah, I'd tuck it underneath
Yeah.
mine. When they cast it, I draw the 4 cards for them.
I don't know. I think I've had one opponent like put it in my exile pile, and I'm like, you're gonna get just
No,
take it.
that
Just,
is
we're
terrible.
gonna tuck it underneath, bro. It's your card now. You got it.
I mean, it's easy for Ben because the sleeves are different, as Zach plays a backup veteran motorist.
This Harvester's gonna get in.
Zach is begging that Ben does not have a certain card. Not sure what he's talking about. Gideon, maybe? No, Gideon's not that good on this board with the flyer.
Oh, he's talking about the card underneath Gonti.
Yeah.
What card would be good in his deck against?
Disintegration.
4 damage coming across. 4/6.
That's a 4/6, yeah.
With the pump from Veteran Motorist.
And Zach's going to gain some life too, so Ben goes to 16, Zach up to 24.
Sure, yeah, gain that life while he's pumped. Getting jacked off the Veteran Motorist.
See what Ben draws here off his turn. I mean, he has the option to play 3 mana Ballista. He could, if he has that untapped land, he can hold Disintegration / Murder and play the 2/2 Ballista.
These all seem like reasonable options. I don't think you can really make the wrong play here.
Zach is really scared about what's under that Dante.
You know, sometimes could he just be psyching himself out? Like, really?
No, I don't give Zach that much credit.
You don't give him enough credit.
He
to
has come
psych
a
himself
long
out?
way since he started, but he doesn't have the best of poker faces.
So he thinks there's actually a card that just blows him out right now. I don't know what card that could be.
Nor do I.
It don't matter, because that snake is headed to the bin after a fatal push. Ben chose not to play a 5th land. Did he have a 5th land?
I don't think he did. Here's a Gideon at the top there from Zach. That was a fantastic draw.
Okay, now we're doing stuff. Now we're making I don't know, making something that we need to be making. Traction.
Zach is keeping up with Ben. I mean, Ben has removal spells, but it's kind of hard to move this Gideon. Meanwhile, my friend is attempting to, for the 2nd straight night, draft Walking Ballista, Snake, and Rickshaw in his Moto draft deck. And he already has a Ballista.
Gonna force the strategy. Okay, sure, you got it.
I mean, it's not a bad strategy to have in a limited format.
You know, just draw all the cards and combinations of cards you need. That's all that I ever try to do in limited. Whatever combination wins the game. Okay. We attacking or we crewing?
I
think
Zach
we're
said
attacking.
move to attacks.
I think we're attacking with that Veteran Motorist.
I think Zach is valuing this Harvester as a blocker. And he's fully aware that this Motorist will trade with the Gonti, so...
Yeah, he'll trade. He's offering up the trade, whether Ben calls him on it. I don't think the Veteran Motorist is quite a spicy enough target for this murder.
No. It would have been a great tracker for that Ballista in hand, though, that's for sure.
Wow, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Ben clearly had a plan for this turn.
I just don't know if it's going to be the most efficient plan.
No, it's getting him probably
yeah.
through a gigantic wrench in that plan anyway.
Well, yeah. Plan might have been bad. Plan might not be the most optimal either way. If we had an advantage meter, would it be pointing towards Zach?
Yes, 1,000%.
Not even 100%, 1,000%.
Correct.
Is that 10 arrows? Okay. All right. We going to make a block?
Does not look like it, so Ben will go down to 13. And then Gideon's looking like it might take control of this game.
Okay. Oh, well, we have to cast a spell at the end of turn right there, right?
Ideally.
With 2 3-mana removal spells at instant speed.
Ben was clearly saving this disintegration, though, for an artifact on the field.
So by all means, use the murder. They're the same card. They read the same text of one bolts.
I can see Ben this turn doing a play of a play Ballista.
Or I guess Lava Spikes.
Disintegration something, redirect Gideon, and then finish off Gideon. I mean, it's not the most... It's not the sexiest play, but it answers Gideon and a creature, at least.
Okay. So, gonna get a block in. Oh, well.
No, he can't. He has to do it now, because otherwise Gideon
Just goes up the chain.
Goes up to 5. All the damage is prevented.
Yeah, this kind of this kind of issue of priority can be a little tricky here sometimes.
That's what he's doing here. He's going to kill the 2-3. He's going to deal, I assume, 3 to Gideon and then finish getting it off. But I think he has a second ballista in hand.
Sure, you can crew your 3-5.
I mean, it's not the wrong play. You want to make sure it's able to block.
No, it's totally a reasonable play. But do you think he's going to block that? It's fine.
I don't think he's attacking. So.
I think you're correct.
So there we go. Ben dealing with Gideon. This turn he had to. It's like his leftovers is Vertisker, Hulk, Walking Ballista, and a Murder.
Can we get a check on the advantage meter? Still at 1,000?
No, it's down to about 300 for Zach still.
Wow, 300. He would win this game 3 times over. Okay.
Hot takes, man.
Hot takes.
Zach's gonna crack the clue. Maybe. I mean, he had 2 mana pointed at something, just as a getting clue. Plays the Strappy Stranger. So yeah, Zach's still in a firm driver's seat. That Stranger should do plenty of work this game.
It's gonna get to crew his turn, because he ain't blocking next turn. And that's...
I mean, Stranger can't block, so I don't know why you would crew it, but, I mean...
It happens, you know.
Yeah. Here's an attack for 6. That'll put that Ben down to 7. Again, don't see him blocking. I see him really wanting to use this Ballista to take care of that veteran motorist on its own.
Yeah, but is the Gonti getting better?
Not really.
Not really.
Zach is clearly not offering that unfortunate attack with an ally. But Ben's going to take it. They're down to 7.
Gonti has Death Touch, not Lifelink, though.
Maybe he's hoping to block the needle spires with it.
That would be a good trade, I think. That's a pretty awesome trade. But still holding on to a Murder for anything that kind of gets out of hand. Maybe that Murder just has to go against the Harvester now before Harvester just kind of sneaks slowly across the finish line.
Ben looks like he's contemplating, can he live if he casts this Ballista for 3?
You know, just that awkward.
Gonna cast it for 1.
Oh, because we can block with a Hissing Quagmire.
There's that. He has the Murder for the Harvester. What would be really good for Ben is that if he has to untap with the Ballista in play with the Gear Hulk in hand, that'd be just the nut.
I think the Murder should have been played earlier in the game when there was some open mana. And I think just not optimizing that Ballista could be a 3/3 right now. Shoot down the Motorist and the Scrap Heap Scrounger with 3 counters while still blocking a creature. That's how good Motorist is, and I don't know if it's being used optimally here.
Let's see what Zach has.
Going hard on the critical hot takes.
He drew a land. I mean, Ben does have the option, too, if he really wanted to, just add some mana to this Ballista, take out the Motorist and the Needle Spires, but that doesn't...
That is not an exciting way of using your mana, getting 1 counter rather than 2.
Plus, I feel like you'd rather just kill the Harvester.
Yeah. Maybe the kind of issue is just forced by Harvester, but 4 mana is a safe place to be rather than 3. So we're making some decisions. We are spending 2 mana to crack a clue.
Would you do that, or would you just, if you're Zach, would you just rather, well...
I would have tapped my mana differently.
Yeah, because he drew the Incineration, now he can't cast it.
Yeah. Foresight. I don't, cracking the clue. What card do you want to draw there? Disintegration, pretty much.
That's pretty much it, though.
Yeah, there's nothing really else too exciting. Getting a heart down earlier might be good for following turns. But I think you want that Disintegration, and that would allow you to push at least maybe 3 points of damage with an Inspector and a Night Ally, maybe.
I mean, if he gets up with the... I mean, he has to imagine that Zach has to assume that Ben has something in hand.
Yeah, definitely. Once you're not spending the full mortgage on the Walking Ballista, you're holding up something. And it might just be the Hissing Quagmire, which...
It's still something.
It's still something. So it's a little bit tucked, it's a little bit hidden. Zach has to think through all the permutations of what Ben might have, what might blow him out right now. So he's spending some time on his decision. Completely reasonable.
Let's see what we got here from Zach. A note to that. Not only can he not cast Disintegration, but he cannot end a bench turn with that Black Source tapped. He can't bring back Scrappy's Challenger. Looks like he's crewing the no motorist attack. He's crewing the Harvester with this motorist.
And I think that's completely reasonable because that motorist just is not getting through. So you might as well just.
This is a lethal attack, but again, Ben has a removal spell in hand. He's going to use it. So goodbye, Harvester.
Block with Ballista, shoot motorist.
That's what it is.
We got there, folks. We figured it out.
Ben takes no damage. He'll untap.
Oh, and a Gear Hulk in hand.
Yeah, but again, that Disintegration is
all over him.
Gonna be all over him as he draws a Snake for the turn. And he only has about 6 mana, so he can't Snake and Gear Hulk.
And we don't have enough green to set up a Snake into a Hissing Quagmire, or is that's?
He's got
3 swamps and a forest.
I think 2 swamps, 2 forests, a Quagmire, and a Blooming Marsh.
Is that land closest to the Quagmire or a forest? That is the big mystery.
He's got the Blooming Marsh now, so it doesn't matter. But instead, here's just the Gear Hulk.
Oh, there's a blue. Okay,
Yeah.
well, don't matter.
So he's got 2 blockers.
He's gonna have 1 blocker.
Yeah, 1 blocker and 4 life. Here's the draw. It's a Scrap Heap. Zach seems pretty happy with that draw. Yeah, he can kill something, deploy another threat, and Ben does not run Fumigate last time I checked. So there's the Scrap Heap.
Sure. I don't think we're gonna need to go much further than that.
There's Disintegration. Ben goes to 4.
Oh well, I guess. Yeah. We'll put him to 1.
At this attack, Ben will go to 1.
Okay, my math was off a little bit.
So now Ben has to figure out what gets him out of this. I mean, he has 2 blockers available as he draws a land. He can Snake and Quagmire.
So he's got 3 blockers up.
3 blockers for 4 attackers.
Okay. And as you said, he has a Blooming Marsh to activate that Hissing Quagmire.
If Zach sees it, he just has it.
Oh, the Spires. I didn't see it.
He touched it. Now he's. If you were Ben, would you play that? Would you play that land for turn?
Nope. You've been holding up mana the entire time. You could be a Fatal Push off of an untapped Quagmire. I think that's a deciding turn, and you just need him to hit the brakes. And playing that land isn't necessarily getting you anywhere. 7 mana is not too different than 5 or 6.
No. So Zach Romer, the man who beat me in a top 8 and then left, ties this matchup 1-1.
Jake never letting it live him down. So just
I never
cling to that grudge.
I never let anyone live anything down, ever. I am a man who is petty and enjoys his petty revenge.
Hashtag petty.
In fact, one of my favorite subreddits is the Petty Revenge subreddit.
And if I didn't think subreddit was, or like Reddits were just like the biggest trash ever, the fact that you point out there's a subreddit for petty revenge.
Correct, yes.
Wow, Reddit. Cesspool of the internet. Up there with all the classics like 4chan and...
4chan is a little cancer, though.
They're both cesspools in my mind. Anyways.
But Reddit has a definite left lean, though.
Sure, you got it. If you're just tuning in, we're at Wednesday Night Standard.
I sense of sarcasm from my partner here, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. If you, I'm not going to split hairs with you.
This is Wednesday Night Standard, the penultimate Wednesday Night Standard for this format, because Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, we have some possible bannings.
And it's potentially the penultimate. I had to think about my calendar for a second. I thought I had missed a set release because they're kind of firing off pretty quickly nowadays. Yeah. But Jake's just convinced that there's a banning. You're convinced of it? It's going to have to happen?
I say 70-30. I would bet on it.
70-30, he would bet money on a card being banned.
But, speaking of these set releases, on March 31st, they're announcing the name of the fall set and maybe some other sets for early 2018, too. So,
sure. and I'm just gonna deal with them as they come up.
Wizards
Here,
want you to spend all the money all the time.
already am. Here we have a winding constrictor on turn 2. The Inventor's Apprentice was fatal pushed on Zach's side, and now we got a Heart of Kieran on turn 2.
I think Ben has another fiddle push in hand too.
Okay, so it's probably gonna nail that Kieran if it ever gets fired up.
Hissing Quagmire is his tap land, an attack for 2, and that just passes it back.
Snake is sneaking.
Sneaky Snake. There's a motorist in Zach's hand, so
I
he's able
like
to
a
crew.
motorist. Yeah, get that crew, get that scry going.
I don't think he has a third lando, so this motorist
That
will be
scry's
key.
gonna set up
Yeah,
pretty well.
set up that hopeful turn 5 Gideon as you see
I
his
see a Spire. Yep.
He's got an Avis in the hand too. Zach definitely wants to go bigger. And there's no more language in this black deck. There's no board wipe of any kind, so Avison's pretty safe. Aside from Grasp, of course.
Not safe from Grasp, not safe from having to jump block a 5/5 Virtus Gearhulk.
That's the card that hasn't really seen play in this format.
Yeah, it was such a haymaker in the past.
But it's 5 mana, so it's 5 mana doesn't make everything gigantic.
It doesn't interact with Sealy combo, so just formats are always changing, adapting, and whatnot.
Yeah, remember when Sylvan Advocate was one of the best creatures in Standard?
Still is one of the best creatures in Standard. Card is hot.
Here's an attack from Ben again, and then it's Heart of Kieran.
But what's to just say not to trade off that 3/1?
Oh, there's a block of them. Ben is most likely 1,000% happy because he has a backup snake in hand.
But isn't the dream really like multiple snakes?
I don't think he cares. I think he just wants to keep Zach off cards, off creatures, off threats.
Definitely just turning your garbage creatures and removal spells is always good.
Let's go. Hey, you have this artifact for 2 mana that does nothing.
Ooh, possibly holding up some fatal push with Revolt. If anything spicy came out of Zach's hand.
I think Zach has multiple Gideons in hand. Here's a pre-release promo Toolcraft Exemplar.
It just always has first strike, right? A pre-release stamp,
Let me tell you, if foils were better than Dirtle,
would be good.
Dirtle and Farrell would be the best players ever. And Justin, too. But God, he plays with that stupid Remand promo, and Yarn is so bad on it.
Yeah, I'm not quite familiar with the Remand promo art, but alas. They don't make you better, and they cost a lot of money.
Yep, and I'd rather spend money on things like a Switch.
Oh, a Declaration in Stone. How about them apples? Get it out of here.
Ben's going to get his creature exiled, and he just got Clue for his troubles. Remember this card, too?
It kind of went the way of the dodo.
Zach not attacking again with his Heart of Kieran.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, he made Ben Havoc game 1, and Ben had it, so now Ben is like the poker pro at the table, and Zach is that drunk guy who just stumbled in on Thursday night trying to make a quick buck.
Well, I think that's just the value of bluffing. If we're not going to be bluffing, then we're going to kind of lose out on these kind of small little plays where, as long as you play it properly, if you hold up the mana, you called them. They try to call you on it once, and you got them, you burnt them.
Yep.
You can just kind of keep milking it for the next 2 or 3 games.
Here's a Kalitas. That'll go really well with the Theta push in hand.
Yeah, Cletus is a good card.
Think Ruinous Path as well for Ben.
Avacyn Man might have gone away, but Cletus is still around.
Zach just going to draw this Disintegration.
Well, we're going to... Do we push in response for the
Yeah,
value?
because...
We push in response for the value and just lose to Heart of Kieran?
I guess not.
I don't think so.
Zach takes 1 for the Spire.
Even
I
probably
think
signaling more to Zach that he doesn't have the fatal push.
I think Zach said pass, though. No, he said... Yeah, sorry, he dealt through to Ben off the Disintegration. But here we go.
Here we go.
And there's the push.
Oh, wow. So what could have been actually just
What?
pushed by the...
Why did he... Interesting.
He didn't crew. He just attacked with the exemplar, the apprentice. Or the exemplar, yeah. Toolcraft exemplar.
Okay, fair. He meant it.
So Zach kind of one-upped Ben
Yeah.
in terms of not letting him have his zombie token.
Because he knows he has these Gideons.
Yeah, he sniffed
And,
out that...
and there's the land. Here comes Gideon.
He sniffed out that fatal push and got paid off for his efforts.
At least I imagine here comes Gideon.
I'll just slam that haymaker while we slow rolling it.
Is he scared of a 2 to slaughter?
To the slaughter, don't eat 2 Gideons.
Plus, I don't think Ben's Delirium. He's got instant land creatures, and that's no Delirium.
Well, you just to the slaughter in response to the. Is to the slaughter creature?
With Delirium, it's creature and planeswalker. So if he only does not have the Delirium, he can just in response to the.
It's just a diabolic edict before Delirium.
I think Zach passed the turn again. He just does not want this Heart of Kieran to go away.
But if it never attacks, then what's the point of actually protecting it? I think there, you kind of got to fire him up.
I think he wants to try to ride this Gideon into the sunset. This first one's going to get Brutus Path, though. Let's see what Ben draws here.
I think as the aggro deck, you got to be pushing there.
Yeah.
Just because you're not going to outgrind the green-black deck in the long game.
Especially when you're doing... Especially when you're already navigating a minefield as it is.
Definitely. And he has played well. He's played well trying to protect his heart, but that's one of those moments where you just got to start turning the corner.
Yeah, but especially when you have 2 Gideons available to you. This is,
when you have 2 Gideons.
This is 7 mana.
Oh, it's 7 mana. We're awakened.
This is an awakened Ruinous Path.
Get up. Kick or whatever.
That forest is woke.
Woke AF up in here, Jake has called. Yeah, count him out. 7, son.
But here's the thing. Now Zach can play a second Gideon. He can crew the Heart of Kieran. He can start doing some damage.
Could have started doing damage earlier.
Yeah. But now, for Zach, he has to think, okay, clearly you're tapped out. You're comfortable tapping out. So maybe you just don't have that unreal spell.
I don't know if that necessarily signals that, but it's something you could read into it. Sometimes the green-black player just has it all, and you got to turn your 1-for-1s into 2-for-1s.
Of course, now it doesn't matter, too, because he draws land number 5, so he can tap out, play this Gideon. Only tapping 4. Here we go. So he can get in for a total of 6 here, and then he can untap with Avacyn back up next turn.
Oh, we're going to get Avacyn next turn.
Yeah.
That's... Woo-wee. Have you ever seen an Avacyn crew a Heart of Kieran? Because I sure haven't, but I want to see it.
I have not. I mean, he doesn't need to. He's got Gideon, so he can just keep plussing the minusing.
I want to see the Avacyn that also is a 4/4 with Vigilance crew a Heart of Kieran. It seems not needed or necessary, but I want to see it.
Here's a snake to pass the turn. I believe Ben's at 13 after that Heart of Kieran attack. Plains the draw there from Zach, but he's just so far ahead right now. Here's a Gideon plus.
Gideon
creature.
tick down.
Here comes the Gideon tick down. And here comes a gigantic attack for 4, 5, 6, 7,
what a
8.
healthy play pattern we got in the standard.
This is a lethal attack.
Good thing we got blocks in this game of Magic, because that 4/4 is going to eat something. Oh, it's a 4/4 creature. It's got the dice on it, bro.
Definitely 4/4, but Zach's not going to lose anything.
Do we gotta trade Hissing Quagmire with
No.
with Gideon, or just like chump block? Or we're just taking 9? We're taking 9. We're gonna lose.
We're taking 9, yeah.
And we're just gonna lose on the swing back to either of these 2 flying 4/4s. I think that Hissing Quagmire had a block right there.
I'm pretty sure that Ben did not have Avacyn on the radar in any way, shape, or form.
Well, still, going to 4 with the Heart of Kieran on the board seems questionable.
I was just told that Owen Turtmon has Pack 3, picked 1, and Adventurer's Goggles in draft. A card that I've been made fun of many times for wanting in my sealed deck.
Because the one player did it this one time validates all of your past opinions on the card.
Supposedly, I think it was Shahar Shenhar had to have his Adventurer's Goggles taken away at a limited Grand Prix.
Sure, you know, sometimes people they get hung up on a card, you know, and are influenced by poor decision making, previous decisions of the past, you know.
That's why you have friends to watch out for us.
Yeah, right. You know, sometimes you just gotta say, put the deck down. Deck's not good anymore. Metagame ain't right for it. Limited format ain't good for the goggles. Are we talking about goggles?
We're not talking about Saheeli right now. We're talking about Goggles.
Yeah. Well.
But I feel like you're talking about Saheeli.
Oh no! I think no. Oh yeah, the Jeskai Saheeli.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta put your baby down. Maybe you shouldn't put babies down, but like Sometimes you got to put Old Yeller down. That's what's right.
I have no idea what's in Bed's hand.
He hasn't really shown us, and if it was really good, it would have just been cast, right?
Not good enough. Zachary Romer gets it 2-1 on the back of Gideon's and Avison's there. And some really, really patient play, just not firing up that Heart of Kieran until the coast was clear when that was tapped out. And from there, it was...
He definitely played that Heart of Kieran very conservatively, but also in a way that panned out for him.
Yeah.
Like, paid off.
I'm proud of Zach. He's grown up.
All you ever need in life is the seal of approval from Jake Valentine over here. So, on that high note...
We're going to be back for round 4 soon.